So today it's finally time for Vespertine, the album that came after Homogenic and Selma songs, the soundtrack of the movie, Dance in the Dark, I believe. And I did that also, but I'm going to get that on my YouTube channel later because I first want to watch the movie. And so I reacted to that in the past, and in the future I will do the film or just like watch it for myself and then some additional thoughts. So that's why Salmon Thongs will be on my YouTube channel after Vespertine, if you're just wondering. But still, I'm going also through that on my discography too right here. Well, Vespertine, a beloved album, right? Um, I read so many good things in the comments, so I don't know why. Mostly I don't have high expectations, but the way you talked about Vespertine right here, I have kind of like high expectations. I can't deny that. So let's read through this, right? So let's read through this. Björk's Vespertine, released in August 2001, may be the first and last album written for the Napster age. The Napster? Oh damn, the Napster age! Holy! Like the Napster age was that music streaming site, right? That's so weird. Why is it? Why are they talking about like the Napster age right here? Anyways, was her fifth studio release and coming off the expansive futuristic Homogenic. True. Björk set out to make an intimate album of microbeats and minimalist production. Oh, really? Okay. It was kind of production that would lose none of its force when downloaded from the featuring sites flourishing at the time. Oh, okay. I use microbeats, a lot of whisper vocals, which I think sound amazing. Yeah, we'll see that how it sounds. Vespertine is a blistering bedroom record. Okay. Björk is often perceived as an elfin fairy or mad genius. Okay. At the finishing stages of Vespertine, Björk sent tracks to virtuoso producers Thomas Knark and Madmoss. Oh, I know Madmoss. I have heard his name somewhere before. I think the hardest because she wanted to get the sound of little buds on a branch of a pussy willow bursting open. What is a pussy willow? It's a brilliant idea. We couldn't get anyone to take us seriously. We called all these nature conservancies and natural recording societies. No one ever called us back. So this sounds very interesting overall, but so let's just jump right into it. The first track is called Hidden Place. We have, I guess, 12 tracks because the last track is an additional track that's not in the real track list right here, this one. So let's see.
So close to tear and so close to simply calling you up and simply suggesting we go to that hidden place, that we go to that hidden place.
Hold up right here. So this was amazing right here. Hold up. So we had some chopped samples right here at the beginning, or chopped instrumentals and then sampled and then chopped, if you know what I mean. And it sounds amazing. Right at the beginning, it's like some. It sounds like a hidden place in a video game. Like if you just like play this video game, which is really fun and stuff, and then you get into a hidden place, and it feels very weird, out of place, mysterious, and that part right there was also very mysterious, weird, otherworldly, with those chopped weird pads going in or instrumentals. I don't know even what that was. And then we go to that hidden place in this beautiful first chorus right here. That we go to that hidden place, and those huge strings and vocals come in. This is beautiful. This caught me off guard. And also as a first track, just so huge. Let's move on.
Smell a pinch of hope to almost have allowed one's fingers. Careful, there lies my passion hidden, there lies my love. I'll hide it under a blanket, lull it to sleep. I'll keep it in a hidden place. I'll keep it in a hidden place. And the littleness of his movements hides himself, invents a charm that makes him invisible, hides in the hair. Can I hide there too? Hide in the hair of him.
This is beautiful and also so different every second of this track. There's so much to pull out. I don't even know where to begin. The electronic drumming is intense, but it's not getting any of these beautiful instruments a destroyed feeling, like these electronic weird abstract drums and percussions are just like floating around somewhere as a backing instrumental, which is like perfect how they managed that and not using that as a rhythm. The rhythm right here is the chopped up sample or the chopped up pad or instrument or whatever that thing is right at the back right here, which sounds so weird and mysterious. But still, it's so beautiful. Wow. He's the beautifulest, fragilest, still strong, dark and divine. In the littleness of his movements hides himself. He invents a charm that makes him invisible, hides in the share. And it's just so beautiful all over this track. Anywhere. This is amazing. Let's finish up. Yeah, that track was awesome. I can't tell you anything about this one. It's beautiful all the way through. So many different chords and strings and ideas flowing into this one. They were just overwhelming. Is the best word to explain that track. 10 right there. So let's move on to the next track, which is called Cocoon or Cocoon. How is like how is it pronounced? Cocoon or Cocoon? I think Cocoon. But let's see what the second track got for us, right? Let's go.
Sharing my core would stay going nowhere. Possessed of magical sensitivity, would approach a girl like me. for some. When I wake up, a second.
There's some real ambience about this track. Like the backing instruments, like the bass, is some like really deep pads, which are really quantized in a way that they sound even like some electronic, straight up IDM ambience going into maybe some trip hop beats. While the trip hop beats are not really trip hop because there's not like the hop elements to them. They are more like just straight up percussion ideas going into IDM and electronic ideas, which is just awesome. And I never heard any structures like this on this track. The singing is beautiful. It's really fragile. Like the way she sings right here is so weirdly deep. I don't know how to explain it. While all the other instruments are more abstract and going into like, if you're just going on to like the best worst trip you would ever have, if you know what I mean. I don't know why, but still great track so far, and I love the abstract vibe of this one.
A train of perils, cabin by cabin, a boy. To a boy.
Yeah, I think that the second track, Cocoon, is not maybe as beautiful as the first track, but that's not at all a bad thing, because I think that Cocoon does a way different approach on this track list. I couldn't even like call it a track list right now because like we're 2 tracks deep into this album, and there's just so much to unpack until right now. I don't even really have the mind right now to go into the songwriting right here. I'm really sorry about that. While I still read along to it, it's really hard for me as a non-German speaker to think about the song itself and how it's written and the instrumentals and all the different things flowing into this one, because there is just so much, while I still have to like translate it for myself like in my head and stuff, and then digest what she was trying to tell with the lyrics right here. It's a little bit hard for me. I hope you understand, but still I think that Cocoon is a beautiful track right here, and I still think that this one is a 10. Also the cover is so gruesome and almost even very sci-fi like in a weird way. Pretty interesting. So let's move on to the next track, which is called It's Not Up to You, the third track.
I tilt my head. I'm trying to get an angle, 'cause the evening I have always longed for. It might just happen anyway. It's not up to you. Oh, it never really. It's not up to you. Oh, it never really. It's not up to you. Well, it never really. It's not up to you.
Such a beautiful track again. It's more like Hidden Place, but more joyful, even fantasy like, romantic even like, going into like some micro beats like they're rotating right now. I think it makes sense in the way that they are so percussion heavy. So they went from when she was trying on her debut album and her album after that, Homogenic, with those trip hop beats, but just takes out the snares, the kicks, maybe do some micro clicks or something, and then into this one. I mean, I've listened to some micro house before, but that's not even close to be even the same as this right here. It's just so beautiful, and I love the real orchestral things flowing into this verse one, and it's just so beautiful. I love this. So yeah, let's move on.
Nicely notice how it sparkles down there. I can decide up to you. Well, it never really does. Oh, it never really does. Oh, it never really was up to
Before we go into this outro right here, I just have to tell you, this is beyond anything I heard in art pop. This is kind of speechless right now, but this is beautiful. Straight up, one of the most beautiful things I've heard before, ever before. It's not the same as Hidden Place, it's not the same as Cocoon. It's straight up different than all the two tracks we had before that were masterpieces. That this one is a masterpiece itself again. Such huge orchestrations that just implode, and just like, it's like you look at this beautiful picture you can't even comprehend when you look at it, and it's like there's a thing and there's a thing, like pictures speak more than 1,000 words. And if you look at a picture, you just like see that thing and that thing and that detail and that detail, and that's look beautiful, and there's the coloring right there. And the same when you look at this, and that's the definition of art pop. And I think she perfected that in the first 3 tracks of this album run up till now. So let's finish this track up right here. Sorry, I have nothing to add to that outro also, but I think that those little plucky instruments right there were beautiful also, and I think I gave them 1 out of 10 also. Nothing to complain. So let's move on to the 4th track, which is called Undo.
It's not meant to be a strife. It's not meant to be too hard. You're trying too hard. It's not meant to be a strife. It's not meant to be a jealous surrender.
This is even different now also. It's more all over the place. The micro beats are not digesting in a certain way. You can really feel it in a circle, like it's straight up just a wavy line going anywhere it wants. And that's really entertaining throughout the track. I mean, the songwriting is also, or the lyrics always go into like a structure of minimalism and not doing way too much or giving a straight up huge story out of the world, if you know what I mean. But the way the vocals are mixed, they are so hushy, but also like going straight into your bones with such a beautiful way of conveying the feelings she has when she was writing this, like if she was feeling romantic or straight up into a feeling that she is putting into this track, which maybe also can be grief or longing or sadness, or it could be anything. And this is just so beautiful listening along to, and this one is just blowing me away. This album is blowing me away right now. Might be even better than Homogenic so far. But let's chill a little bit. Let's just move on, right? Wow, that outro and chorus, last chorus right there was just breathtaking. That might be the most shocking thing through the album right there, because I thought the most beautiful track right there was It's Not Up to You, and that one just like blew me away even more with those even more grand, explosive vocals and choirs, and I don't know if it's childcore or just a female voice core, I don't know, or if it's like digitally made, I don't know the production things in off the back, but it's produced by Björk. It's just beautiful. I don't know what to tell you besides giving it that one a 10. Yeah. So let's move on to the next track, the fifth track, which is called Pagan Poetry. Let's go.
Darling, through the dark currents, I find a secret code carved, a secret code carved.
This track is like some of the fantasy movies where the main character goes into this fantasy world and it's just so grand and huge, and there are these creatures like flowing everywhere, walking around, being weird, and also just this beauty about it that lets you go into another dimension. And that's the same when I listen to this track right here. I'm just like floating away into another dimension, fantasy world or anything. It's just a grand experience right here that I kind of also had at the last Spanning album, The Turning Wheel, which I reviewed also very positively on my channel, which I love. And it really reminds me right here of this kind of stuff she also did. And it's just beautiful. Also right here. But also those really deep bass things going into this one are beautiful, but also just so catchy. This track might be I can't even tell you which track is my favorite because they're all masterpieces. Damn. Let's move on.
As pagan poetry, pagan poetry. I'm hanging and let that bow and do anything. I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. It's time. Are you gonna keep me all to myself? But it makes me want to hurt myself. She loves him.
Yeah, beautiful track. What do I have to add to that? The outro is amazing. Those delayed kind of how do I explain that? Like there are these like backing vocals that just like go on and on and on and on, and then she's in the front with, but it makes me want to hand myself over, but he makes me want to hand myself over, and also like this time I'm gonna keep all to myself and so on. Then there's these backing vocals, she loves him, and so on. That's a beautiful track. Beautiful track. It's a 10. So let's move on to the next track, which is called Frosti, the 6th track. Let's go. Oh, didn't even see that there was a transition right there. That's beautiful. Like Frosti is a beautiful transition to the 7th track, Aurora, right here. I didn't even saw that. Yeah, Frosti is a beautiful instrumentation that goes into the same kind of like thing I talked about when we went into like Pagan Poetry, like the fantasy thing. It's so beautiful, and that one was even more like, how is that called in English? Like these boxes that you have that you just like roll up, and then there's a melody playing. It's like the child box, music box. Is that called like that? I don't know. But those things always were like at the same time mysterious, beautiful, but also kind of creepy sometimes. But right here, it's beautiful, and I just really enjoyed that track is called Frosti, because it always has this kind of like wintry theme and thing, or like idea going on, and I like that. It's beautiful. So yeah, I think that one was a beautiful interlude going into Aurora. So let's just move on, right? Let's see what Aurora has for us.
Attracting the glacier working hard for a moment of shine. Autumn day, shoot me beyond the surface. The need, autumn day, Aurora, goddess sparkle, a mountain shade suggests your shade.
This is more abstract, but there's also this. Is that trip hop beat or just an electronic beat? I can't digest that right now. But that's a beautiful transition right there. We're going from Pagan Poetry to Frosti to Aurora. So it doesn't make it too torn apart. Also, you need something like that as a middle of a track list. And it's beautiful how it went into this one. This beautiful harp. I don't think we had such a beautiful harp on this track list so far. And the songwriting is just so positive, beautiful, straightforward, lovely, romantic, fantasy-like, mysterious, so many things. Let's just move on.
With snow, the way it melts, I wish to melt into you.
I didn't even realize that there were some really beautiful pads as a texture in the back, but right at the outro I firstly realized them and they were amazing throughout this track. Also like how she like sings the spark of the sun, and there's just a beautiful end right there with those beautiful hubs, but it doesn't like add those huge strings we had pretty often now at this album, so it doesn't get that stale, and it's a beautiful way to move on this album, and it's just beautiful. And I think that that track was also going into some beautiful arrangements, and I think if I like put Frosti into that like rating also into, I think that's a 10. So we're 7 tracks deep into this album and every track was a 10, so this looks pretty good. This looks very good. So let's move on to the next track, the 8th track, which is called An Echo, a Stain. Let's see what this track got for us.
Love you too. Feel my breath on your neck, and your heart will rain. I want to see you.
Oh my. This is beyond, I don't know, this is beyond anything art pop has ever done. Maybe this whole album is just above anything I heard so far in art pop. Maybe that's a thing right there. Why I think that every track is just like so damn great for just out of art pop. But I have to tell you, it's beautiful. Her singing is so different on this one. It's just And a bit. It has these romantic lyrics right here, like feel my breath on your neck and your heart will race. Don't say no to me, you can't say no to me. I won't see you denied. I'm sorry you saw that, I'm sorry he did it. And so on. But that's so interesting. Why is she singing so sad? And why are these sad strings here? Let's move on.
I'm sorry, did it on I can't free falling. Come.
An Echo Stain is a weirdly comforting and sad track at the same time. What an interesting combination right here. Yeah, I think that was just beautiful, but also strangely sad. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's a voice, or maybe it's just like these chords and these strings and harps just going all together in that kind of sense, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know if I even have to give these ratings right now. Let's move on to the next track, which is called Sun in My Mouth, the 9th track.
Darkness in the sleeping curves of my body. I shall enter with chasteness of will I complete the mystery of my
Another beautiful track, Sun in My Mouth, is another beautiful track. It's a short one. Doesn't do anything. Wait, hold on. Oh. No one know what that means. Great track. Come on. Great track. Beautiful. Anything about that? Right? Because I was like thinking about why is this coming and why is this coming and then there are these beautiful strings. Let's move on to the next track, which is called Heirloom, the 10th track. Let's go.
I have a recurrent dream. Every time I lose my
I really like this more trip hoppy IDM drums, which are just like into some interesting beat structures on some like 808 stuff, which I like. That's typical beginning of 2000s, you know. Some like Timbaland productions always had like things like these, but it's weird to talk about Timbaland when we're listening to Björk, kind of, because this track right here is beautiful. It's a little bit more psychedelic, even going to some psychedelic pop sides, while staying into the art pop sides. Those like little jangly synths going in there, here and there, and those wobbly, wonky basses. Man, my adjectives today are just like so damn weird. Just like beautiful. And yeah, I like this track and that track. Also, if you have voices outside, it's my neighbors. Don't be surprised. It's actually pretty loud. I wonder if you can hear that. Anyways, let's move on.
Glowing oil into our wide open throats. I have a recurrent dream. They make me feel better. They make me feel better.
This may be one of the most experimental tracks of this album so far, but it doesn't like get it away from being just like almost perfect. In that sense, we just like hit almost like the true trust last track right here, and it's almost the end. And I just have to tell you, this album is just blowing me away. This might be one of my favorite pop tracks ever. So, just wow, you were not kidding when we're talking about this album right here. Damn. So let's move on to the second last track, the 11th track, which is called Harm of Will.
Is a troubadour washing? It is he. If there is a man about town, it is he. There is one to be sought, unclothed, long, a long length of time for families, and if her on me in the I'll simulate the can't face known to none, for if he is seen, then all will, and all will.
Harm of Will is just a little beautiful track that doesn't try too much, doesn't do anything too much, just plays with your emotions with those deep strings, beautiful, long, stretched, lengthy note singing, which is just amazing. Björk is one of the best singers I've heard in the last couple of months since I did this review thing right here. You know what I mean? So I have to tell you, this is great. This really surprised me all over this one, and yeah. So let's see. There's only one track left. Sadly, kind of. Because if you just like listen to one of these like beautiful albums when you just like right into like really deep down in the album, you just know you're gonna be sad when you're like finished. So let's see what the last track had. This was like the 12th track, which is called a Unison.
3, I will have grown my own private branch of this tree. You gardener, you discipliner, domestically. I never thought I would compromise. I never thought I would compromise. We sure didn't fight and embrace you tight, let's unite tonight, we shouldn't fight.
This track is as an outro just breathtaking. Beautiful arrangements. I've never heard such a beautiful fusion besides they like put into these like micro beats in it that you almost can't hear besides these also beautiful instrumentals. I think this is the best Björk singing I've ever heard so far. And that tells something while I just like listen to the song right here. Like every word she puts out in this track so far is perfect. Period. Also, this track has so many different arrangements that fusions this beautiful synths with these orchestras together and also takes X turns the beautiful singing right here, and that just makes this beautiful little ball right here of genres, sounds and ideas that I've never like thought would harmonize this beautiful together. My god.
One hand loves the other. We shouldn't fight and praise you tight, let's unite tonight, let's unite tonight, we shouldn't fight and praise you tight, lands
The last track, Unison, right there, goes into my monumental playlist right here. Because I have this playlist where I just put my masterpieces of the masterpieces, the 10 out of 10s out of 10 out of 10s in. Because that one deserved that. One of the most beautiful albums I've ever heard from any album. Not any pop or any art pop album, any album. The most thing I've loved of that last track right there was the first time we heard Björk really like growl out her emotions in the most beautiful way possible. Like, let's unite tonight, and like gets this growl out of her voice, and it's just so strong, beautiful, and just like so emotional, heavy. I've never heard something as beautiful as that last track right there. And that one is 7 minutes and feels like 1 minute. What I have to tell you, this is almost beautiful. Almost every track is beautiful. It's like I've just watched one of my favorite fantasy movies. I don't know why. It's beautiful. What the hell? It feels like a fusion of my favorite Disney movie going into my favorite romance movies, La La Land. What was just this album? This is great. I have to listen to this album even more, and then I'll give you a rating. If I would give you a rating right now, it would be very big. It would be big. But let's see what I'll give this in like a week or so. So see you then. So yeah, Vespertine by Björk. Hold up, let me get my track list right here. There are 12 tracks. Every track is perfect. That's my closing thoughts. Not just kidding. Come on, man. This album is a beauty art pop album, going to all different sides of pop, classical, neoclassical, trip hop, micro beats, kind of like micro house stuff, very percussion heavy stuff, interesting new experimental sides, just straight up beautiful stuff, and so many other things. What do I have to tell you? This is a great album. Every track is perfect. I don't have anything I don't like in this album when I think about it real hard. Because I was taking some notes in between some things when I was like, well, that second wasn't perfect. Well, that second wasn't perfect. Come on, man. Who cares if a second is not perfect or just like that one part? If a whole track just gives you the feeling of like this is a masterpiece, there are so many good things about this track that I just really love, that are different, that are experimental, that just like goes beyond music, that just like gets you emotionally. Who cares? This is a perfect album. What do I have to tell you? You probably know yourself, right? So I have a lot of people in the comments who are like, well, I experienced when like Björk was putting out these albums, and man, I wish I would be in that time, because like that must be a great time seeing her evolve as an artist into these beautiful albums right here. So fantasy, romance, explosive writing, like musical experience in another dimension. I don't know, I could throw you adjectives and maybe my dumb number that I'm going to give you at the end, but still, this time it's maybe not that dumb. So on Vespertine, Björk's album right here, I am feeling a 10. This is my first 10 of all reactions so far. So yeah, this is a great moment right here. I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy that I went into Björk's discography after Fossora, and there are a lot of gems, and this one here right is perfect. So yeah, really appreciate all the support through that. I always also like keep on moving into Björk discography until I get to this one, because this one is just great. So yeah, but let's settle into all the Björk things all together right now. We did Homogenic, which was almost perfect. We went into Vespertine, perfect. What is after that? There are also like so many other albums after this one, and I'll probably do all of them, right? I do all of them. Who cares? Come on, man. This is like, I gave an 10 to an artist. I have to listen to all of their music. That's like great. And there was one person in the comments that was like, if you talk about listening to a whole discography, you have to listen to all of it. all the live shows. You have to listen to all the lost tracks, the remixes, and all of that stuff. All of that stuff, I do that, like, besides just listening to it, right? And beside that, Selma songs is one thing I did, but I have watched the movie today, but I have to get my thoughts around it, and I'm just going to listen to the soundtrack one more time. Then I give you the video for Selma songs, which is also a great soundtrack for that movie right there. So yeah, be excited for that one also. You don't have to wait long. So see you then. Thank you for watching.